It's Bilal here at Osheaga 2014 in Montreal, and we're sitting with the man himself, Kevin Drew. You've definitely heard the name behind Broken Social Scene, although we won't bring up too much about BSS, Kevin, because you're doing your own thing now, the new album, Darlings. Yeah. How's that been going for you?
Good.
Stellar. All right, let me dig a little
words over here.
Let me dig a little deeper for you. All right. First of all, I love the fact that you are offering, and I don't know if this is real, if the 1-800 number is real. Can you tell us for the tequila lime body butter?
My dear friend Charlie's wife Susie has a great Magnolia line where she makes body butter and all kinds of soaps and oils, beard oil, and she approached me and said, "Do you want to do some body butter and some beard oils?" And I couldn't help but say yes.
So the beard oil is coming.
It is. You can go online. It's oh God. You know what? I need to have this. Look up, go to my website and you can see it there.
What's the website?
KevinDrew.com, I think it is, or I don't.
Few words and not as much knowledge on his music career. That's all right, because the beauty is behind the music with Kevin Drew. And I was watching the video for your first. I should have brought one of those. I was watching the video for your first single, "Good Sex," which features a lighted floor and real couples that are engaging in, some pretty intense foreplay by the end of it. And then there's you lying on the ground, the same ground, alone though, seemingly undergoing this same or experiencing the same emotions as these couples, but you're alone. What were you thinking about, or who were you thinking about to put you in that mood at the time?
I looked at it as these couples were real couples that we found, and we auditioned them, and we talked to them about all kinds of things in their relationships. It was really a wonderful process to put this video together. And what I was supposed to, they were supposed to represent the real, the truth, and the honesty of love, and I was sort of lust, because I was also beat up and bruised and bloody. We just kind of went with it, and it was a wonderful crew and a great director, Samir Rahan, and the couples just, they let it go and they went for it for us, and it's something that I won't forget. I was really honored by them and their honesty and all that stuff that goes with skin and hearts.
It was a really visceral video experience. I think, I don't know if you found that same thing. It felt so genuine with those couples, and that's why I dug a little deeper and found out that you had used real couples. And another thing with this album, as opposed to music you've done before, Broken Social Scene and even on your own, a little less on the guitar work, a little more atmospheric. There's an evolution there musically. What made you kind of decide, I'm going to try a different route, or was there something behind that?
It wasn't a mental thought, but I actually spent a lot of time with this magical piano that my friend Jimmy gave me, and it's just this friend of his grandmother's piano. And when people have pianos in their homes and they want to get rid of them, you can, you pay for the move and it's yours. And
I've adopted one such piano.
There you go. And he knew I loved it, and I wrote a lot of songs on that piano. So it was something, songs like Lover Spit I wrote on piano, but besides that with Social Scene, I didn't really approach a lot of songs through piano. So with this record, I found, at least half of them were sort of written on keys, but at the same time, I went down with a 4-piece to Banff with Charles Spirano, Had Benchett, and Dean Stone, and we just kind of worked off the ground. And then bringing Dave Hamlin into the mix, he really is part of the synth modular world, and he really took me along that sonic process for me, so it was great. I had a good time.
Nice. I wanted to also touch on the album Darlings, which I think is great. It's got there's a bit of darkness in it, and a lot of reviews are saying that, but there's also something else that just kind of, it's more real to me than it is dark.
Right.
And at the same time, I read about you producing Andy Kim, who's a legendary Canadian songwriter. The man behind Rock Me Gently, and Sugar, the Archies. And while producing that album is when you got the idea or the desire to all of a sudden, start working on your solo album, and you'd asked him permission if that was okay to. Is that how the story went? Now, what was it that
we made them side by side together?
Yeah. What was it that triggered the desire while working with Andy Kim? Was it
he put the thrill of making music back into me? I can't say it any other way than that. He really is such a loving person and such a supportive, magical person. And our lives are so similar and our age is so far apart, but we were together and he just brought it back to the music, and everything else just disappeared. And it's an impulse when you're a musician. You just want to constantly be creating. You want to constantly be making music. If there's something that you love to do, you want to do it. That's what you want to do. And fortunately, I've been grateful enough and had a good life within it that I've been able to go and focus my time and energy on doing a bunch of things. And I've worked with a lot of great people recently that have taken me outside of the family that I sort of grew up with Broken Social Scene. Now those guys, all of them, we've all inspired each other, and we've all really taken each other to great levels. But there was a ceiling that we hit where I thought, okay, well, what else is out there? And to find Andy at the time that I did, because I was just tired, and the music industry and touring and all those things, I wasn't focusing on the truth of what the matter was, and that's just the songs itself. And him as a songwriter was amazing. And even Dave Hamlin, working with somebody like the Stills, who's had hits and wrote songs that have been all over the radio, he also sort of just centered my make it a 10-minute jam vibe and brought me down to what actually the core of the music is. So I'm grateful. You know, I got a lot of great people in my life who support me and let me do my thing. And I've always thought honesty is the best thing to do in the world, whether you're curt with your words or whether you're just trying to create something that you feel is a part of you. And I think that people out there, they're looking for that more and more, because there's just so much shit going around, so much fluff and so much urgency towards nothing. There's no end game within what everyone's searching for. So it was a protest record to me in a way where I thought, I want to take intimacy and I want to take my life, my faults and my achievements and just puke them out all over this recording station and then go out into the world and say, who's with me? And it's been a hard road. Solo careers are not a really amazing decision in terms of, you know, financial and all that, but you end up paying to play a lot, but it's worth it if you love what you do. And I've had a great time with my band, and I've had a great time watching people. And those videos we made, Mexican After Show Party I loved, and the You and Your Word video with Zach and Leslie, they're all these honest pieces of work that people brought to the table, and that's all I'm into. I don't need your bullshit, and I don't need your front. I just need what is real about you. And that's kind of been the way since I was young. I learned that in drama class in grade 6. I thought, acting.
Was that with Emily from Metric? And,
yeah, Emily and Amy was
Amy
in grade
from
9.
Stars. Yeah.
I met them in high school, Topical School of the Arts. And you know, we're looking at 25 years now, or 24 years. It's insane.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Broken Social Scene became, like, you guys, essentially your scene broke up and you went your own separate ways, solo style, and are successful in doing that. And going back to your recent release, Darlings, a record being a musician myself and having recorded my first solo album a couple years ago, it was a journey of emotions. At first you're excited that, okay, I'm doing this, but you're a little scared. How do I do it? Do I make a record that's going to go on the radio and then do the artsy stuff, just to get my name out there? Do I be real like you did and like you say you've always done, which I'm now learning in my progression as a musician is the way to go, is just be true. And in an interview with Peter Frampton, he gave me that advice. I asked him for, and that was my moment of wow, was not only sitting next to Peter Frampton, and this is one too, by the way, Kevin Drew, Broken Social Scene, come on.
Me and Pete.
Kevin and Pete, that's the new band, the new tour, baby. And he told me, I said, your advice to any musician out there that's a band that's eager and wants to be on that scene, and he said, be yourself, do your thing. Don't care what the label says, don't care what anybody says, or what's gonna put you on the radio. If you're real, people will eventually get it, and you'll eventually have that success.
I agree. I think it's hard because I think there's a lot of stuff out there, and the way that we consume music now is so disposable that you have to be very careful with your expectations. I own a label, and I've seen a lot of things not work, and it's very painful, like very painful to watch that happen for bands and for solo artists or anyone, because you obviously do everything that you can to make these things work. And a lot of the times it really just comes down to that right time, that right place, that phone call, that person who saw you. And you can't govern that. You can't control fate. You just can't. So you walk through this life with hope. And a lot of times, especially in this day and age, they just want to take your hope from you and feed you hope that they can make money off of. They want you to follow them through their process of hope. And I think it's essential, as Peter Frampton said, to hold on to yourself and be yourself and make sure that you're doing it for you. Radio is, that's a money game, and that's a chance game, and that's people getting behind you. But you have to know that there's so many people out there that are looking for things. They want to consume, they want to find things, they want to be a part of the building process with bands and help them up. That's what happened with Social Scene. I never really experienced anything like that, where there was just this tour de force behind us within our city, then within our country, then within the interweb, and then within the world, just saying, we want this, we want you to come. So
it almost seemed to me when I first discovered Broken Social Scene that it was a rite of passage. Like, people that I spoke to, music lovers and music fans, you'd start talking about music and your likes and dislikes, and if at some point somebody said they'd never heard of Broken Social Scene, it was like, what? Okay, you get out of this conversation. It almost, like, your band became a rite of passage.
That's how it was for me as a teenager. It's like,
music.
you don't know Sonic Youth, you don't know My Bloody Valentine, what are you talking about? And then it just keeps going. It's like, you don't know Horace Andy?
How does it feel to one day realize that you're part of that benchmark? You're one of those benchmarks that people look at and go, that's a band you need to know if you love music.
I love it. I'm proud. I'm proud of what we've done. I'm proud of the music we made. I'm proud of how we helped with other bands put our city on the map. There was an incredible amount of amazing bands coming through our city for years, but they didn't have the distribution that happened, through the internet and all that. So just kind of the right time, right place. But yeah, I'm proud of my history and I look forward to my future, but I'm just trying to be in the present.
Speaking of the present, that's where I wanted to finish. The emotion of making the record, releasing the record, wondering how the critics are going to take it to the fans, and then starting to tour the record, which you've been doing since it came out in March. Now, this part of this record's journey, touring it and playing here at Osheaga, what are your feelings now about this record, Darlings?
Nothing changes. I love it. Touring is not something that I completely like, because as I get older, I realize I want a schedule and I want my life to be regulated. I played pinball with my heart and my mind and my body and my health for 12 years, and in the end, I wasn't so proud of how I felt about it all, because touring, it's almost childish sometimes. It's just like you're roaming around. It's
backstage, eating great food, talking to radio people.
Festivals are lovely. Hey, listen, it's hard work.
No, absolutely.
It's very hard work. And but I will tell you this, that as long as you care about the right things, make sure you don't care about the right things as well. That sort of I don't give a fuck is kind of the way that you got to go through, with a responsibility, with an idea that you understand what the true meaning of caring about something is. And I made this record and I love it. Spiritually, it's been a wonderful thing for me, and I'm happy that people have responded the way that they have. You win some, you lose some, but you are who you are. Keep yourself to yourself. Don't let people take that away from you.
What's next for you?
I'm going to do a little more touring, and I'm already recording and writing and doing other stuff, and there's just things coming down the path, and at the same time, I'm still trying to figure it out. What's it all about?
Thank you for sitting with us, Kevin.
I appreciate it.
It's a good time.